If you are not suffering, if your eyes are not bleeding from staring at the screen for 18 hours, if you are not miserable, then you are not working. This is absolute garbage. I have spent months closely researching and dissecting the routine of the successful people to figure out what they do differently. Today, I'm going to break down the flow state for you. Mastery is a surrender, not a fight. Stop grinding. Seriously, we have this obsession in our mind. I call it hustle worship. It is this idea that if you are not suffering, if your eyes are not bleeding from staring at the screen for 18 hours, if you are not miserable, then you are not working. This is absolute garbage. I have spent months closely researching and dissecting the routine of the successful people to figure out what they do differently. And I have met people who are dead broke. You know the difference? The broke people are the one usually grinding the hardest. And the winners? They are not grinding, they are flowing. Today, I'm going to break down the flow state for you. But I'm not going to give you any spiritual version of it. I'm going to give you the operator's manual. I'm going to show you how you can turn your brain into an asset that can print cash and productivity without the burnout. So let's get into it. Here's the little secret that nobody tells you about success. Mastery is a surrender, not a fight. If you look at the early life of top-tier business people or any elite class individual, it looks like they were exerting a massive effort. But if you can hook their brain up to the monitor, you would see the difference. You would see the opposite. The friction was gone. They were not fighting for the success. They had become the success. And that's the flow. Think of your energy like a cash flow. Every time you grind, you pay high tax on every hour you work. You are fighting the distractions. You're fighting the ego. You're fighting the boredom. That's a bad margin. But if you are in flow, that tax disappears. You get 100% return on your effort. Suddenly, the sacrifices that everyone talks about, like waking up early in the morning, deleting TikTok, and saying no to happy hours, they stop feeling like sacrifices and they start feeling like leverage. Because when you are deep into the pocket, into building something that you love, then waking up early is not a punishment for you. It's an advantage. You want to get up early because you are addicted to the process. You are not scrolling Instagram anymore because frankly, the other people's lives are so boring compared to what you are building. But you don't just fall into this level of working. You have to engineer it. I have come with 3 conditions that you need to get into this level of working. The first condition is radical clarity. Most people's goals are trash. I want to be rich. I want to grow my business. That's not a goal. That's a wish. And your brain cannot focus on a wish. To get into the flow, you need a target that is so sharp that it can cut. When you define the immediate step, you strip away the anxiety of the big picture, and your brain stops scanning for the threats and locks in. Clarity is the enemy of anxiety. The second condition is understanding the value of your work. If you're doing busy work, you will never find flow. Your brain is smart. It knows when you're wasting the time, and it will preserve the energy. You need to understand the leverage of your work. You need to ask this question to yourself. Does this work serve your family, your future, your growth? Does this email close the deal that secures your freedom? If you can't connect the importance of the work to your life, then you won't feel the urgency that you need. The third condition is obsession over passion. I hate the word passion because it sounds soft. I prefer obsession. You have to fall in love with the problem that you're solving. You have to fall in love with the work that you're doing. Here is the bitter truth. You should not need willpower to work because willpower is a finite resource. It runs out, but obsession will never. When you are obsessed with your work, when you must see how this plays out, then you stop calculating the cost. You stop searching for the shortcuts. You just do the work because work is the point. All right, my dear friends, we are done with the theory. Now we execute. Because information without action is just entertainment, and I'm not here to entertain you. If you really want to enter this magical level of working, then I need you to practice a simple thing. Next time, when you feel resistance, when you don't want to wake up, or you don't want to write that proposal, just flip the script. Don't say that I have to do this. Say that I'm building my leverage. Fall in love with the boring work, because the boring work is what makes you rich. There is an article by me in which I talked about 5 specific indicators which tell you that you are actually performing at this level. You can get the entire article for free by subscribing to my newsletter. And you will also get free guide which contains 3 secrets which help me to face and solve any problem in my life. And I hope they will help you too. There is a link of my newsletter in the description box and the comment section. And if you want more tools and tips about building a mind that can enhance your life, then hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful life.